couple of specifics would also be really, really helpful. So, to dive deeper into one of them, which is internally, right? You spoke about how talent and the leadership team needs to be knit really together. They need to be feeling comforted. At a time when founders are seeing 20-30% of their employees in their team actually get impacted by the crisis, what do you think are some of the additional measures that can be taken specifically for this cause? Because we've seen companies announce internal funds for the welfare of the employees. We've seen employees being given time off to specifically work on their mental health, and there has been no pressure. How do you ensure that such culture is inculcated within the team? And what are some of your cues specifically for this internal cycle where founders can actually work with their teams better and thrive in this sort of environment as well?
Let me give three recommendations to founders. Number one, as I've already said, highest degree of empathy. I think this is the number one priority of founders today. If founders show empathy to all stakeholders, and I'm not only talking of employees, but also they have major dealers, they have major vendors,
Right.
highest degree of empathy, which means that go all out to help them, save them, provide facilities, link up with the hospital, link up with vaccination centers, link up wherever you can link up, connect with them, have agreements so that, all employees and key stakeholders feel that company is taking care of me. This company is close to my heart. This company actually wants my family to be in good health. I'm telling you, each of these feelings, this is a feeling only, and a perception, will go a long way for success of the company. So that is number one. Number two is the targets of the business. Actually, the digital businesses are doing better than the brick and mortar businesses. So, which means the targets which were already laid down, maybe you can beat those targets because the market is good, demand is good, and digital businesses will run faster. But I think driving business through target versus driving business through inspiration. I think that is the difference which founders have to put in place now. So don't get too much into targets. Don't remind people that this is the target for this week and this is the target for this market and this is the target. Inspiration is the way to go. Positive energy, positive inspiration, how you can do it, helping, giving resources, giving tools to achieve the target rather than remind on the target. Because this is not the time to pressurize people. Right. But people, if they feel happy, they'll do more than you expect them to do.
Yeah.
They'll anyway do it more. They'll be happy with what company is doing, what the founder is doing. And the third thing is over communication. This is the time to over communicate rather than be silent, rather than communicate selectively. Communicate transparent. A daily report, maybe daily couple of calls, one morning, one afternoon, evening, so that you track everything, take decisions on the fly.
Right.
Decisions have to be taken fast because nobody should feel that, this is one problem I'm facing, but decision is getting delayed. No. Either decision will be taken in the morning call or in the afternoon call. It's daily regime. It's very, very agile company, agile founder. So these are three recommendations I give to the founders. And let me tell you, this will also lead to fantastic culture post-pandemic.
Right.
The positive impact and the positive energy it will have post-pandemic will be immense.
Spectacular. I think, empathy and inspiration and ensuring you over communicate. Those are all fabulous pointers. Further, I want to specifically talk about something that SoftBank portfolio leaders are actually being thought leaders for, where we've seen a lot of companies come up and actively not just support their teams internally, but come up for the welfare of the society at large and help the general population, be it not just customers or not just by service, but by ensuring that they are going out of their way to help the society at large. So how do you become not just reactive in dealing with the crisis, but also proactive in being thought leaders for the entire economy at large, because innovation and entrepreneurship is going to be the way forward. And if founders have to prepare themselves to be thought leaders, I think it would be great to hear from you and understand how you can inculcate that spirit as well.
No, SoftBank is blessed to have founders who are truly profound, truly high quality, truly proactive.
Right.
And for example, in this situation, three examples I can give: Paytm, Delivery, Oyo.
Right.
All these three of our portfolio companies founders have done a fantastic job. And
Absolutely.
many others. Maybe I'm not given the name, but there are many other founders who are doing a great job. So I think these founders today are already national business leaders.
Right.
And in 5 to 10 years from now, they'll become much bigger national or international business leaders. And therefore, employees and stakeholders don't look at them only as business, only from business lenses,
True.
but they look at them at society lenses also. What do they do for society? Do they help the society, especially in the hour of need? So I think each one of them have stretched themselves beyond normal business. I mean, Delivery is doing logistics for all the oxygen infrastructure which is coming into India, doing great job. Oyo is doing a lot of great job for isolation, people who want isolation for 2 weeks, etc. And they have had rooms, they've had many infrastructure. Paytm is doing similarly a great job. So I'm saying there are many things we can do.
Right.
Each company, each founder can do to rise to the occasion, especially when your business is doing well.
Right.
I mean, nation has a problem, world has a problem, but your business, your company is doing well. Digital businesses are doing very well. So therefore, it's very important to contribute your whatever best you can contribute to the nation, and especially to people who really are suffering. And if you do that, you will get good blessings. And I am slightly old school. These blessings will take you far.
I think that's completely, like, despite being old school, I think that's completely true. And all of our blessings are with so many of these founders who are doing such a tremendous job at the national scale. And it's great to hear from you that that attitude and that putting yourself on that rise where you contribute to the society at large, that framework is extremely important to begin with. This was spectacular to hear. Thank you so much, Mr. Manoj. I think this line of thought would be very helpful for all aspiring leaders, all aspiring founders. But I want to shift gears and now move on to more of your personal learnings, because every time I read about you or talk to you, I am baffled by the enormously amazing journey you've had. And I think there are so many learnings we can take away from your professional and personal experiences. So first up there, I want to talk about how is it that you as a leader and otherwise make decisions, because throughout your career trajectory as well, you've taken up a challenge at each point in time and never let yourself become too comfortable. And to be able to take such bold decisions at a time in mind where boldness was not the most spoken of, like more or less at the benefit or at the doubt of stereotyping, I would like to mention that more or less things were conventional in nature, but you were still taking bold decisions at each point in time, and you grew companies to the extent that we are as a generation benefiting from. So I'd love to understand from you what your decision making process is, and how do you recommend youngsters who are bound by instant gratification, how do they take decisions, especially for the long term, and ensure they thrive in their professional careers as well?
So I have three personal rules for decision making. And I'm not saying these three should be followed by everyone. Everyone has a different point of view. Everyone deserves to do it differently, but this is what I have followed. First and foremost, I believe in fast decisions. Because if decisions are not timely, then there's no value of a decision. So rapid decision making, timely decision making. Second is team. If team is not fully involved, then decision making doesn't get executed properly. Decision can be taken, but team will not be aligned to the decision because they were not involved in the decision, which is very important. Hence, informality of decision making is very important. You have to consult everyone informally. And the many companies which are very structured or formal, they miss this opportunity. The third area is data-based decision making. You can't decide based on your gut feeling. It has to be a solid data analysis, facts, which have to be the foundation of a decision. Yes, the last 10% or maybe to 10, 20% could be a judgment, but 80 to 90% has to be data. Because if you can't base it on data, then you may end up taking a wrong decision. So these are three very important cornerstones of a good decision making. Let me repeat: speed, data-based, and team involvement. And if you do that, and I've done that whole life, and let me assure you that you can still decide fast. You can decide as you on your feet. Everyone is traveling, but you can still decide because technology offers you that. So that's what I follow.